So dear students, today we are going to discuss about the ureter. So what is meant by ureter? First we are going to see what is meant by ureter. Next point, codes, how it runs. Codes means how it runs. The third point, what are the relations of this ureter? Then the last point, arterial supply and also all those points. So these are the points today we are going to discuss about the ureter. So first, what is meant by ureter? Ureter, it's around 25 centimeter long muscular tube extending from kidney to urinary bladder. Okay, see what is meant by that? See this image. See, it's around 25 centimeter long. See in this image, these two are the two ureters. This white, almost white color or ivory colored structure. See, these two are the two ureters. Okay, so extending from what's the length? It's around 25 centimeter long, extending from kidney to urinary bladder. See, this is what the urinary bladder here. So kidney to urinary bladder, these two and these two here in the opposite side. Okay, and it is made up of muscles. So it's a muscular tube. So that is what the definition for the ureter. It's around, ureter means it's around 25 centimeter long muscular tube extending from kidney to urinary bladder. Okay, so it's upper part which is seen in the abdomen. See, this is what the abdomen. Okay, see this area below the diaphragm. This area, this is what the abdomen, and this lower part it is known as what? The pelvis. So we can conclude in this way that upper part of the ureter is seen in the abdomen and lower part of the ureter is seen in the pelvis. Upper part is located in the abdomen and lower part is located in the pelvis. Now we'll see the definition. See, ureters are a pair of narrow, thick-walled muscular tubes convey the oral extending from kidney to urinary bladder. What is length? It's around 25 centimeter long. Its upper part is seen in the abdomen and lower part is seen in the pelvis. So what is meant by ureter? That point is clear. So oral introduction is clear. Now we'll see the course, how it runs. Okay. See, beginning portion of the ureter, it is known as the renal pelvis. So what is meant by renal pelvis? We'll see that first. See this paper model. So imagine this is the paper model of the ureter. Imagine this is what my left side ureter. So this ureter, this beginning portion of the ureter or this funnel shaped part of the ureter up to this level, it is known as what the renal pelvis. So renal pelvis means it is the beginning portion or this funnel shaped part of the ureter. It is the beginning portion and funnel shaped part of the ureter. Okay, so upper part of the renal pelvis. So renal pelvis is clear now. It is the beginning portion of the ureter or it is a funnel shaped part of the ureter. Its upper part, this area, which is seen inside the renal sinus. So what is meant by renal sinus? Renal sinus means it is a space seen inside the kidney. Okay, I told you. See, this is what the kidney is having two borders, lateral border and medial border. Medial border is having the hilum. Okay, see, hilum extend into a space. Now you can see a space. Now this space, this is what the renal sinus. So renal pelvis, this is what the renal pelvis, which is upper part of the renal pelvis, which is seen inside the renal sinus. See like this. Then the lower part, which runs downward along the medial margin of the kidney, correct now, which runs downward. See, lower part of the renal pelvis. Okay, lower part of the renal pelvis runs downward along the medial margin of the kidney and up to the lower pole of the kidney. See here at the level of the lower pole of the kidney, now this renal pelvis, or it is known as what? Ureter proper. Or we can say that, see, below the level of the lower pole of the kidney, this ureter is known as ureter proper. Above the level of the lower pole of the kidney, it is known as renal pelvis. Okay, see, so take it as a landmark. Okay, see here, above the level, it is known as renal pelvis. Below the level, it is known as ureter proper. Okay, so renal pelvis. What is meant by renal pelvis? It is an upper beginning portion of the ureter and it is funnel shaped. Okay, it's the upper part which is seen inside the renal sinus. This upper part is seen inside the renal sinus. Then lower part runs along the medial margin at the lower pole of the kidney. It continues as ureter proper. Now we'll see. Ureter begins with the renal sinus as a funnel-shaped part known as the renal pelvis. So renal pelvis, what is meant by renal pelvis? That point is clear. It is a funnel-shaped part of the ureter. The renal pelvis will start from the hilus of the kidney, then it descends along the medial margin, gradually narrows, and at the lower pole of the kidney, it is known as ureter proper. See, at this level, this is what the lower pole. At this level, this renal pelvis will become the ureter proper. Now we'll see. So the course of the renal pelvis is clear now. Okay, now we'll see the course of the ureter proper, how it runs and where it terminates. See, the ureter proper runs downward. Ureter proper runs downward. This green color one. Okay, downward over a muscle. This muscle it is known as major muscle. Okay, so it runs downward over the psoas major muscle, and the lower part of this ureter or this lower part of the ureter which crosses this artery. This artery is known as common iliac artery. See, abdominal aorta it terminates by dividing into two arteries. See, these are the right and left common iliac artery. Common iliac artery laterally divided into external iliac and internal iliac artery. So, like that, here we can see a vein, common iliac vein. So, it crosses these vessels and enters into the pelvis. Now, the abdominal part of the ureter is clear. Then, this pelvic part. Okay, so pelvic part first it runs downward. Okay, so what about the abdominal part? Abdominal part runs downward over a psoas major or over a muscle known as the psoas major muscle, and it crosses this common iliac vessels and enters into the pelvis. Inside the pelvis first it runs downward. What is meant by that? See, this is what the pelvis, sagittal section of the body. This area, this is what the abdomen. Okay, see here inside the pelvis first it runs downward. See this white color structure. See, first it runs downward at a particular point or at the level of the ischial spine. It runs forward. See the codes. First it was running downward, then it runs forward. Okay, then what is meant by ischial spine? See, this is what the hip bone. With the ilium, ischium, and pubis. Three parts: ilium, ischium, and pubis. See here in this area, there we can see a spine-like structure or a projection. See this projection. This is what the ischial spine. So how it runs here in this pelvis? Okay, first it runs downward. See, almost like this cursor. At this level, it turns forward. Clear? Inside the pelvis, the ureter runs downward. At the level of this ischial spine, this ureter runs forward and reaches the urinary bladder. This is what the codes. Okay, in the lesser or true pelvis, it runs downward. Okay, following the anterior margin of the greater sciatic notch. What is meant by that? See this notch. This is what the greater sciatic notch. This is what the greater sciatic notch, and this is what the anterior margin, and here comes the posterior margin of the greater sciatic notch. This is the anterior margin. So here it runs downward along with the anterior margin. Correct? No? Along with the anterior margin. At the level of this ischial spine, it tends forward. Now we'll see. So the point is clear. It runs downward along the anterior margin of the greater sciatic notch. Opposite to the ischial spine, it turns forward and reaches the urinary bladder. Okay, so this is what the course of the ureter. We'll say it again. So what is meant by ureter and the course of the ureter? What is meant by ureter? Ureters are a pair of narrow, thick-walled muscular tube extending from kidney to urinary bladder. It's around 25 centimeter long. Its upper part is seen in the abdomen, lower part is seen in the pelvis. See, same muscular tube extending from kidney to urinary bladder. Upper part is seen in the abdomen and the lower part is seen in the pelvis. Then course. First part of the ureter is known as a renal sinus, where it lies. See, upper part of the renal sinus, which is seen in the renal pelvis. Then the lower part of the renal sinus descends along the medial margin of the kidney. At the level of the lower pole of the kidney, it is known as ureter proper. This ureter proper first it runs downward along over the psoas major muscle, and it crosses the common iliac artery, and it is entering into the true pelvis. Okay, so inside the pelvis, it runs downward along the anterior margin of greater sciatic nerves at the level of the ischial spine. It runs forward and reaches the